Good evening, YouTube. Well, I stay away for ages and suddenly you can't get rid of me. 2 videos, 3 videos even, in 1 week. God, you're lucky, lucky people. Seriously though, there's a small element of guilt in this video. Yesterday, I took delivery of my first ever Rick Black pipe. Not only that, but it was also my first ever mortar pipe. So, yesterday, on the 24th of February, I took possession of a Rick Black mortar. And I know that tradition suggests that I should have shared my excitement with you lot by opening the box on camera. However, I have to confess that I stole some guilty pleasure by opening it just for me. Not only that, but I also had the first smoke in it just for me. So I'm here today to well, I'm not going to make up for it, am I? I have failed to show you the box opening, I have failed to show you the first smoke. However, it is an absolutely beautiful little pipe. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that in the light, but Rick's got a nice swirled green acrylic stem on there for me, a nice chain band, and, well, just the patterns, the natural patterns that have occurred in the wood are phenomenal. Smokes beautifully, as you'd expect from a Rick Black pipe, and it's as light as a feather. In fact, when my wife rang me to say that the box had finally arrived from America, and it has taken a little while, she was concerned that maybe Rick had forgotten to put the pipe in because the box was so light. And she is a beauty. Nice flat bottom too, so she does sit. Anyway, the Rick Black pipe is only part of the story. This could be interesting. The dog's coming to join me. Come on then, you. And the camera survives. Ideal. Because of course, without something worthwhile to go in it, a pipe is nothing more than a piece of objet d'art. I have some Rattray's Red Rapparee, which I have to confess I'm thoroughly enjoying. And as I'm still in celebratory mode after receiving the pipe, I'm also partaking of a modicum of Hobgoblin Gold. It has to be a modicum because that's the last bottle in the house. Well, as usual, I haven't got much to say personally, so I thought I'd incorporate a few things in this little chat. Not least of which, I want to do a VR to War Dog 418. That's a slightly strange VR, but War Dog 418, if you haven't come across him, is someone you ought to go and look at. He's young, enthusiastic, a little bit off the wall sometimes. He's just a generally all-round good guy with a great sense of humour. He's put out a 200 subs contest. Now, because of postage costs, Wardog has said that he can only ship to the US. So he's apologised, but that's what his budget will do for him at the moment, which is fine and dandy. That's his prerogative. And whilst I'm not greatly into contests, excuse me a moment. Sorry about that. My good lady wife ringing up to check up on me. Anyway, like I was saying, Wardog 418, great guy, running a 200 sub contest. Budget's a bit constrained, so he's only going to ship to the US. But he didn't say that I couldn't enter, even if I can't actually receive the prize. So my plan is to enter. And if I'm fortunate enough to be one of the 3 winners, I think it is, then I'll nominate somebody else from the mainland of the USA to receive the prize in my stead. And if I don't win one of the prizes, it doesn't matter. I've contributed to the competition, I've supported a young man who I think deserves supporting, and I've filled up a bit of this video because you must get bored just looking at my ugly mug. So what Wardog wants to know is if we had superpowers, or if we could choose superpowers, what would we choose? And who of the other pipe presenters on YouTube would we take along as our sidekick? Apparently a sidekick is compulsory in American superhero legend. However, I've known for many, many years that if I had any peculiar special abilities, the one I would want most would be teleportation. Actually, it's a 50-50. Can I have 2? We'll have teleportation first, because that's what I said. I would love to be able to jump from place to place using the thought of my mind. Presumably I'd have to have some prior knowledge of where I was moving to so I could envisage it properly, and then I'd have to make some kind of provision so that I didn't rematerialise inside of somebody else moving through the space. But that is what I would like. No more queues for trains, aeroplanes. No more worrying about losing the house keys. Get to work in 5 minutes, if that. Good news. And the second superpower, because I've just decided I am going to award myself to, and on the grounds that I can't lose this competition, if Wardog decides to eliminate me, disqualify me for being greedy and having 2 superpowers, then so be it. So my second one is time travel. There are so many things that have occurred in history that I would like to go and witness, or go and see the run-up to or the aftermath of. And combining the 2 options, teleportation and time travel, gives me the ultimate. I could travel in time, for instance, to the field of Waterloo, watch Napoleon lose that battle, but be certain I can teleport out of danger if I suddenly find myself surrounded by unpleasantries. Or if I'm wandering around a ship of the line at the Battle of Trafalgar and suddenly find we're sinking, I can hop off to another ship of the line. Like a spy on Genghis Khan as he tore across the steppes. I could be there when they laid the foundation stones for the Great Wall of China. Many great possibilities. So those are my two superpowers. Now, sidekick. That's a much more difficult thing to have. Do I go for young and vibrant like me, or old and wise? Again, I'm going to cheat and have two. I'm going to go for Pipe Commander as one. Because you look at Pipe Commander from a distance and he looks like a nice old gent with his long beard and wrinkly eyes. But I've seen the arsenal he keeps, and he could kick ass. So we'll have Pipe Commander as one kick-ass dude sidekick. And I think I better go for young, just to back Pipe Commander and myself up. So I'm going to go for Toking Tommy from Halifax. Another impressive chap. If you haven't found Toking Tommy, have a look at his website. He's got a great sense of humour, a little bit dry at times, interesting accent. You Americans might struggle with that a little bit possibly, but he's alright. But I reckon that with his combination of pipe knowledge, interesting accent, and speed and agility, he could be the perfect foil and balance to Pipe Commander and myself. So there you go. I've chosen two superpowers and two sidekicks. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to enter the competition yet. But there you go. If I am allowed to enter the competition, Wardog, and you're generous enough to include me, and you're silly enough to let me win, then I will nominate a third party All-American boy or girl to receive the prize in my stead. I wish you well with your competition. I wish all of you well with your happiness and your smokes this evening. And in particular, I want to thank Rick Black for the sterling work he put into making this pipe for me, and the tolerance with which he responded to my pitiful inquiries about how long it might take to get to me. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, everybody else. Have a good night. Stay happy.